And I don't think a lot of single women, we do what's best for us in the moment. We're constantly worried about what other people think. Yo, party people, it's Ashley of SingleWomanChronicles.com, where being single is a beautiful choice rather than a miserable circumstance. And happy Friday. I hope you had a wonderful first week of the new year. But the entertainment streets are coming in hot. It's a new story every day, and it is just hilarious being on social media right now. And it's, I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot going on. I feel like I've been in New Year in 2024 for a month instead of just 5 days, honey. It is already coming in hot. But today's topic is 5 things single women can do while you wait. Ignore this nail that has popped off. I was gonna re-glue it, but then I'm like, I need to take these nails off anyway. And I like to reuse my press-ons. I don't know about y'all, but like, I'll have a little set on, and then I'm like, I'm gonna reuse them. But I don't want. If you got good glue, it's hard to pop them off, or they'll like snatch all your nails off. So I wait for them to get loose, and I wasn't about to re-glue this on just for it to be tight and be hard for me to try to take it off and struggle with that. I ain't got time for that. But y'all didn't need to know all that, but that's just what I'm saying. If you're trying to be a press-on girly in a new year, just remember that. But anyway, so I felt the need to talk about 5 things you can do while you wait, because I did make a post about, I love when pastors, give us advice on dating, but sometimes I'm like squinched eyes, skepticism, because a lot of pastors, it's rare when a pastor hasn't been married for 10, 20 years in the pulpit telling single people how they should be single. And it's a struggle because, every year I look forward to the singles conference, and I look forward to hearing this great advice that they're going to give. And hopefully they're going to send me either a single pastor and how they're acting, or how they're living out their single journey, or somebody like Stephanie Ek. I never know how to say her name. But she was single for most of her, she was single all of her 20s. She was a virgin too. She just got married. So hearing her story was like incredible to me. Or like a Devon Franklin who waited like 15 years. I know he got a divorce, but I'm still listening because it's like, it's hard out here, especially if you are a Christian single and you don't want to love the world's way, because the world's way is very ghetto. I was talking to my best friend today, and I was telling her, like, we were talking about the fact that a lot of pastors don't understand that back in the day, not even that far back in the day, early 2000s, 90s, the goal was marriage. But now the goal is not marriage. I don't know what the goal is anymore. I don't know what it is no more. People just out here, I know sex is very high on the list. People want to be polygamous. I think people just want the easy way. People just want ease. If I can do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, as I am right now without having to grow, that's what I want to do. So I think that is what's going on in these dating streets. I also think that I could be biased. It is what it is. But I'm a woman and I'm out here and I'm looking around. But I feel like so much content is dedicated to telling women what we need to do, and we listen and we go and we grow, but the men are not having much content telling them what they need to do and how they need to go and grow. The only content they're having, most of it is consistent of the Kevin Samuels content, and that content ain't helping nobody. The red pill, blue pill, yellow, I don't know about them pills, but them pills is stupid. And so that if you have women growing and being the best version of themselves, but you have men getting their ego stroked, it's like, bro, what is happening? So it can just get very, very weird, especially because the gender wars are still going on. And I always say the gender wars are online. They're not in real life, but people take it to the streets and in real life. And it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But anyway, if you are a single woman and you are wondering what you can do while you wait, and this is a perfect time for this because we are in a new year. And if you want to experience a new year and new you, I feel like just having a little clarity, like on how can I be the best version of me in 2024 for? Or how can I maximize my single season? Because, last year I struggled a little bit, and this year I want to nail this thing down and really understand what I need to be doing. This is for you. So I wrote my little list. And number one, we hate hearing this because we hear it so much, but I'm going to be specific. I need you to heal, but specifically, I need you to heal from childhood trauma. The reason you need to heal from childhood trauma is because most of us, the way we operate or show up in relationships is due to how we grew up, how we were raised. Okay. I often talk about how I had an emotionally unavailable mother. So I attracted a lot of emotionally unavailable men. And some of you are wondering, why do I always attract these emotionally unavailable people? Your parents could have been that. You could have had a bigger sister like that or big brother like that. If you grew up like that and you need to heal that part of yourself, you need to do that, because you don't want to end up married to someone who don't give you their emotions or isn't emotionally open. Another thing that I healed from that was amazing and life-changing was my anxious attachment. I had heavy abandonment issues due to not having my father in my life. And that caused me to anxiously attach to every man who was in my life. I didn't understand this until 2020, when I ended up in a relationship. Well, not a relationship, a situationship. And I was like super clingy and trying to let go. And my therapist pointed it out. And I was like, oh my God. So she made me read the book Attached, and I overcame my anxious attachment. But that was literally life-changing for me. If you are a woman and you feel like every time someone leaves your life, no matter how long you've been dating that person, it could be a day, a week, a month, it feels like you're going crazy. Like you get really anxious. Your palms are sweating. You can barely sleep, eat. You want to cling to this person. You feel like chasing this person, blowing their phone up. This is a safe space. Be real with yourself. You ain't even got to say this out loud. But if I'm talking to somebody and that is you, you most likely have an anxious attachment, and you need not date like that. It's a very heavy codependency when you date like that. And it's going to, most of the time, one, it pushes a lot of guys away, good guys away. And two, it makes you go, like, it makes the dating experience so exhausting because you're constantly thinking, oh, what if they leave me? Oh, what are they doing? Oh, how can I be with them? Oh, how can we next? Oh my God, it's so exhausting. So overcoming that thing was like one of the best things ever. And so this is why I believe you should overcome childhood traumas, because you don't want to be in relationships like that. You could be emotionally avoidant or avoidant attachment style. You don't want to end up with someone really good and then you push them away or they leave your life because you're an avoidant person and you don't know how to show up emotionally. No, heal from that childhood trauma. Get out of you got to, right? So that is one thing I would tell you to do. You can go about doing that through therapy. If you can't afford therapy, a lot of good self-help books. I already told you, Attached is one of the best books I've ever read, and it is incredible. Number 2, build your self-confidence. This might seem self-explanatory, but it's not enough talk about this, because I feel like as a single woman, every single day, we are told why we are not valuable. We are told that we need to, especially if you're over 30, we are told that we need to take what we can get. We need to take the scraps. We are told we don't need to expect certain things because we leftovers at this point. So in this society, you want to be confident, because the last thing you want to do is start to shrink. You don't want to shrink and then end up in a relationship where you feel like you can't even be your full self because you're shrinking in order to settle. I've been in relationships like that. In my 20s, I dated a lot of guys who were not intellectually sound, because I felt like, oh, men don't want the super smart girl or the girl with the smart mouth or the girl who's witty and ambitious. They want the girl who's, boost them in their ego. So I shrunk a lot. And that was due to my low self-esteem and not having that confidence I needed. But also just the ability to show up as my full self, to speak up. And all of that comes with confidence. So if you are someone and you struggle with your confidence, you're constantly questioning yourself, you're constantly needing external validation, you're constantly wondering, am I good enough? Did this person not leave me? Did this person leave me because I'm not pretty enough? I'm not smart enough. I can't dress well enough. I don't have the big butts or I don't have the big boobs. Like, if that is something you struggle with, please use this season to build that up. Because the last thing you want to do is end up with someone who likes you because you have low self-esteem. You don't want that. You do not want that. All right, number 3, become self-sufficient. These red pill idiots. Yes, I call them red pill idiots. These Kevin Samuelites love to tell women, oh, you're too independent. That's why don't nobody want you. That don't make sense. That's stupid. That is dumb. That is dumb to me, because if a marriage or a relationship is a partnership, why would you want to bring nothing to said partnership? Nothing. Because even if you are a woman that's a stay-at-home mom, do you know how hard it is to be a stay-at-home wife? A stay-at-home mom? Like, you gotta know how to cook, clean, fold clothes, operate the stuff around that. It's a lot. That's not the life I want. But I'm saying, even in that, you have to be self-sufficient. Wash clothes. Like, it's a lot you got to know how to do. Organize. It's a lot you got to know how to do. And if you're coming into a situation and you're not self-sufficient, I just feel like it's just not going to go good for you. I just watched today this girl on TikTok who was saying that she was in her early 20s and she dated this guy who was like a millionaire. She was a stay-at-home girlfriend. And she said that she was online posting like everything was great, but it was like the worst experience ever because he was financially abusing her. And she said, when you give someone the ability to take your life away from you, most of the times they will. Like, because she didn't have the finances, he could literally be like, get out tomorrow. And she would have to leave and she would have nothing. Nothing. No life skills, no work, like nothing. That life sounds great and cute, but at the same time, like, why wouldn't you want to show up as someone like, hey, we're a partnership. If you are great and self-sufficient and I'm great and self-sufficient, just imagine what we can do together. So that's just my little 2 cents, because most of the successful marriages I know and the people I'm around, both of them are lit. Both of them make money. Both of them are self-sufficient. Both of them can wash clothes. They can cook. They can clean up. They can do X, Y, and Z, because they always... Healthy marriages are going to tell you that it's never going to be 50-50. Sometimes 70-20, sometimes 70-20, sometimes 70-30, sometimes 60-40, sometimes 90-10. And you want to show up as a person ready to bring something. And I hate that whole wing we ain't going to talk about last year, but you want to be a self-sufficient person. So work on becoming self-sufficient, learning how to cook more. That's one of my goals. Probably not this year, but one of my goals is like, I know how to cook. I know how to fix stuff, but I don't know how to like make big meals, but I also don't like cooking. But I really want to get a cookbook and just like work my way through it just to expand my menu, because I'm a creature of habit and I cook the same thing all the time. Number 4, strengthen valuable relationships. I don't know if you guys have those friends that when they get in relationships, they disappear. Yeah, we don't like them people, because it's like, why can't you juggle it? And I get it, because when you fresh in a relationship, it's the honeymoon stage. You, especially if you got kids and stuff, it is hard to juggle relationships, but it shouldn't happen every single time, right? So that's why I feel like every person needs to learn how to invest in those valuable relationships right now, especially while you're single, because when you build that firm foundation, when you end up married, it's going to benefit you, because you're going to be able to like go back to them. They're going to be your support system. Because a lot of women, I don't know, not a lot, but some women, when they get married, they feel like their husband is their everything. I don't think nobody should be your everything. That's why you have relationships with an S. You have your friends for certain things. You got your parents for certain things. You got your cousins for certain things, your business folks for certain things. So you want to nurture those relationships so that you don't pile all of that stuff onto your spouse, and you don't depend on your spouse for all of that stuff, because they're going to fall short. You shouldn't depend on everybody for something. I mean, you shouldn't depend on one person for everything. It should be like multiple relationships. So right now, Nurture those friendships. I'm all up in my people's face. Like, I'm sending text messages. I'm the friend that's going to text you first if it's been a while. I don't care. I'm texting you first. I don't care about none of that. I'm all in your face with it. And number 5, live your life to the fullest. Stop waiting on stuff. Because I hear a lot of people, I don't know if I want to wait to buy a house because I want to get married. I want to wait to travel to Greece because, I wanted to be the first with my husband. I want to wait to start the business because I want us to do it together. Stop. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Men ain't waiting for none of that. Men going to go. Like, men are going to go. I think men are more self-centered than most single women are. Single men are more self-centered than most single men are. I find that's just what I've seen. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, because I think that's where they get a lot of their audacity, because their audacity be free on their side. It's obviously for sale on our side. But I think they do, what I mean by that is they do what's best for them. They're not looking forward to the future wife that they don't even have yet. They're doing right now what's best for them, right? In most cases. And I don't think a lot of single women, we do what's best for us in the moment. We're constantly worried about what other people think. And that's why you need to build your confidence. We're constantly worried about, what my future husband gonna think, or what does my family think, or what does this person think? Don't nobody care. Live your life. Live your life. Because when you live your life, one, you're not going to be easily impressed. When somebody's son comes and shows you something, you're not going to be like, oh my God, that is so wonderful. Oh, I love him. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. No, you're not going to be easily impressed. I used to be the girl that was easily impressed because ain't nobody showed me that I ain't been nowhere. Okay. And I got played a lot because I was getting bare minimum treatment and I thought it was excellent, but it really wasn't. It was just because I hadn't lived my best life. Okay. So you want to live your best life. And then 2, you don't want to go into a marriage with regrets. I've had friends who tell me, like, I wish I would have did XYZ while I was single, because now that I'm in a marriage, it's harder for me to do that. So live your life. Okay. Please live your life. And if you're wondering how to do these things, go ahead and check out my Embrace the Way challenge. Like, literally, this is what I cover. I'm covering how to heal from those past childhood traumas, how to live your best life, how to date in a way that guards your heart, because I do want you to date. Because just because you're waiting on your person, you still got to date. Like, you still got to get outside. I know a lot of Christian singles don't want to date. I don't know what it is. They think that they're Amazon going to deliver their husband. I wish Amazon worked like that. Oh, I do. Look, I'd be on there right now, but it don't. So you want to get out there and date. And I really want to help you. The challenge kicks off on Monday, January the 8th. And I still got the coupons, the first 5, all capital letters, the number 5, get 50% off, 20% off if you use all capital letters, early bird right now, because I want you to have a great kickoff to 2024, going in with clarity, releasing that anxiety, building your self-esteem. What could you do if you had high self-worth right now? Like, how great would your year be if you weren't so worried about everything all the time? It could be amazing. I know my year gonna be amazing. That's just me. But y'all, that is enough for me this week. I have 5 days of posting. Whoop, whoop. And I look forward to talking to y'all again next week. Until next time, bye.